understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
When I eat a brain, I get visions.
Don't ever come back to Gotham.
You have failed this city.
Jesus, what kind of a preacher are you?
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
Because where I'm from, your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe.
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, May 11th, 2019. I'm Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined.
And I'm Sarah Netzley, academic by day, freelance writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And in this episode, we have 6 new episodes for you. Mm-hmm. But wait, there's more.
Yes. 2 of those 6 are penultimate episodes. But this week, we actually had 16 episodes drop, Sarah.
That's a lot of episodes, Ed.
Yes. All 10 episodes from Lucifer season 4 are available on Netflix. And we will be talking about those Lucifer episodes in a separate podcast that right now I'm going to say is probably going to drop into your feeds Monday. So you're listening to this Sunday morning, just like usual. You're gonna need to wait an extra day or so for the Lucifer podcast. Just because, well, we gotta watch them all in one weekend. Maybe.
Well, and it lets you watch them all too. I mean, it lets you get caught up and do your stuff,
Yeah.
Maybe you have a life that you need to organize around Lucifer. I don't know. I don't know how you live.
Yeah. And what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna watch the episodes one at a time, and do the same kind of recaps we do for a normal episode. So it'll be fresh in our minds, and I won't know what happens next. Sarah's already seen them, but that's okay.
I have recapped the whole season for Entertainment Weekly. If you go to EW.com, you'll see it on the page. So I can tell you're not going to be disappointed. Absolutely no spoilers here until the special Lucifer episode, but get on it. If you haven't watched before, honestly, they do a recap that'll catch you up. So this is a great time to jump in. 10 tight little episodes. So good. Look for my recaps. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and by the way, Sarah, congratulations on those recaps. That's a lot of work. You should be very proud of yourself.
It was a lot of work. it was a rough week. I think when EW does those binge recaps, a lot of times they split them up between a couple of different recappers. Often it's for the Marvel 13 episode shows. I don't think 3 more would have broken me. So thank you. I am proud of what I accomplished this day, and I am super proud that Tom Ellis retweeted it. So
yes. And but there were 6 other shows that happened this week.
Oh, but we have we have not only did I watch all the Lucifers, but all of this stuff too. So yeah. Shall we?
Yes. Enough with the pleasantries. Let's just jump right in.
Enough chit chat.
All right. First up is Supergirl, season 4, episode 20. Will the real Miss Tessmacher please stand up? Kara and Lena flew to Casnia to search Lex's research facility. Ben Lockwood left his wife's funeral early to ransack the DEO and organize a manhunt. Kelly helped Alex try to keep her cool after an adoption opportunity presented itself. Last-minute reveal, after being handed incriminating evidence, President Baker pushed a button and had Kara blindfolded.
I knew that was an evil president, but I didn't know he was that evil. Yikes.
Yeah, I just kind of thought he was a jerk.
I kind of thought he was like a useful idiot, but that's active malice. So you can't go around black bagging reporters. That's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Damn. Well, I also you kind of gotta blame Kara a little bit in this. To think that you could just that that a reporter could just waltz into the Oval Office.
That was a little strange. Yeah. And also she showed it to James. I mean, like that doesn't take care of the problem. So that's very strange.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've seen some documentaries about journalism, and usually isn't there like the phone call saying, "Hey, we got this. This is the story. Do you want to comment?" Or
yeah, it is weird, especially because I mean, isn't she theoretically West Coast?
Yes.
So it is very strange to take and also, do you know what journalism newsroom budgets look like these days? Nobody's flying cross country for that. No.
But that's okay. But
that's a minor part of the episode.
yeah. So let's talk about Kara and Lena in Kaznia. And you had some interesting revelations. They kind of, they found the facility. They understood, what Lex was doing with the Red Daughter. And then you had that moment where they're trying to escape this explosion, and Kara just happens to come across the Red Daughter's bedroom.
Covered with pictures.
Yes, that clearly that if Lena had found that, she would have immediately known that Kara was Supergirl.
Yes. And there was some discussion I saw online of why didn't she speed up and rip it all down if the building was going to be destroyed anyway? Why did she take the time to burn them? There were some questions about what she did. I'm going to say she was shocked and she did the best she could. That's how I whitewash most things with this show. Supergirl is doing the best she could, okay?
Yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, and Lena. Okay, this happens in a lot of Superman-related properties, but I don't know if this has happened with where Kara's about to reveal herself and she took off her glasses, and then someone's not looking at the person she's trying to reveal herself to is not looking at her. And then basically says something that makes her immediately put her glasses back on. Is that something we've seen before in the show? I feel like Superman's done that a lot.
Yeah, I don't remember it in this show. That seems more, and there was, definitely there were Superman homages here with the Clark passing out and Lois Lane, oh gosh, I must have. So that was a direct homage. I don't remember it from previous episodes. I will say, I actually shouted it. I was just like, no, just tell her. It's going to be so much worse if you... Oh, Kara. When she stood up behind her and I realized what was going to happen, I got so excited. And then, that was a roller coaster of feelings I was on.
Yep.
And I did like the disagreement about it versus her, right? Think what destruction it could do. It's not an it, it's a her. Kara immediately wants to think the best of her. I thought I'm glad that they addressed that. And of course, I think Lena would be practical and say, oh no, that's not good. We can't have that. And Kara would be a little bit more, Lena leads with her brain and Kara leads with her heart.
Exactly. All right. What do you next up? Do you want to talk about Brainy and Ben Lockwood, or do you want to talk about Kelly and Alex?
Let's do Kelly and Alex. Alex didn't get a baby. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Brainy now?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That was a lot of real estate devoted to that. And it was nice. They were all very nice scenes. And I liked Kelly standing in for Kara and Alex walking through all of it. I thought it was well written. It just felt like it belonged in a different show, like a different, not episode of this show, different show.
Yeah. And I actually wish we could have done, scaled that storyline back a little bit and spent more time with James and Nia training, and James kind of, getting used to his powers.
I gotta say, James adapted a lot faster, or Lockwood adapted a lot faster than James did. James struggled a long time. Lockwood was just like, am I fireproof? Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's insane. He doesn't think.
And he doesn't have the PTSD that was interfering, so. He probably was not locked in a coffin when he was a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and John. Of course, John shows up and is totally ineffective at that point.
Special effects are expensive.
Yeah, and like I don't know. So I think this is the whole situation with Ben Lockwood. It's difficult because he really needs a boss. Like he really needs someone looking after him, saying, "You know what? Your wife died. Take the weekend." Uh, maybe wait to start rating the secret government organization.
I do think somebody needed to have a little check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah,
not all action is good action.
Yeah, and this is what happens when, also, when he surrounds himself with a bunch of yes men. That's pretty much what the Children of Liberty are right now.
Oh yeah, they're dumb yes men. That's the worst.
Yeah, although George is still like, yeah, on track. Hayden dad. I thought he had some good moments where he's just kind of like, gave his dad the what for.
I was glad for that. Yeah. I also am very interested to see how Lockwood spins his powers to the children. I assume that they're not going to like it, and I assume he's going to have to bust out his rhetorical gift. I hope so. Anyway, I hope we get to see that, because if I know anything about a, bearded, angry xenophobe, it's that he's not going to like alien powers in Lockwood.
Yeah. I'm wondering how this is all going to go down, because we have 2 episodes left now in Supergirl.
That's a lot of stuff
yes.
to cover.
Yeah, I'm wondering if just like Lex is gonna waltz on TV and just like, hey, I made this guy, and just destroy him in 10 seconds.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think, are we going to get Lex? I did not watch the next week on. Are we going to get Lex next week, or are we going to save Lex for the finale?
I really hope we get more Lex. I think we should at least get the setup. And I thought it was weird that, this episode's, we didn't even talk about Miss Tessmacher. We did get Miss Tessmacher, all half dozen of her.
I did like Kara's "Thank you next." For 2 smart women, it took them a long time to figure out that something was up with Miss Tessmacher's brain.
Yeah. She had taken the copy virus, the copy, whatever serum was. But yeah, I do hope that we get more of Lex in both of the next couple episodes. But I think we're pretty sure that he's going to be in the finale. So yeah,
his name is in the episode description, so I feel pretty comfortable about that in the finale.
Yeah. All right. Was there anything more?
No. I think this has been a strong season. I was a little frustrated last season with the ups and downs, but I feel like it's really kept some momentum, and well done, Supergirl.
All right. And was there any news for Supergirl?
Nope.
Okay. On to DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 14, Nip Stuck. After being tricked by Neron, Sara and the Legends found themselves trapped in an Ice Age avalanche. Neron brought John to an ancient Celtic village, where John's ancestor was terrorizing innocent magical creatures. Mona became suspicious that Gary was hypnotizing everyone at the Time Bureau. Last minute reveal: after falling from the Hellgate into a dumpster, Constantine walked around a tough-looking street and saw a tower in the distance surrounded by fiery skies.
Well, Ed, Gary Green is all the man we need.
Yes, Gary Green is all the man we need.
Did you expect the eyeball?
No.
I did not either. And I'm still kind of bothered by it. Like when I close my eyes at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was rough. That was rough. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Mona got to be the hero though.
She bit his nipple off.
Yes. Well, actually, not Mona.
Wolfie did.
Wolfie.
So that is shaping up to be a Killer Frost situation, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I find very interesting is that she could transform into a Kope, but they are two separate consciousnesses.
Mm-hmm.
I you know, and the fact that they're communicating with each other, yeah, it's very much like Killer Frost. It's not like Shazam where Mona retains her personality after she transforms.
They can't all be Shazam, Ed. But yeah, it was pointed out to me last week that I may have a slight thing for authority figures and evil people as I was going through my list and then having conversations about legends. And so evil authority figure Gary kind of did it for me. I'm so sorry, friends. I'll show myself out. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. How about the thing that saved the legends was basically Sarah giving up and saying, "All right, let's just party."
It was so perfectly Legends. Like, we are so hosed, so let's just drink and play Ray's stupid game. And that saves them. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And also, I loved that Cards Against Humanity. Cards rescuing humanity.
Yeah. And also just like you go through all of that technical jargon and it really just comes down to heat melts ice. We need to be able.
You would think Gideon might have, not to nitpick Gideon, but you'd think Gideon would have been like, "Hey, just an idea, Captain Lance. Heat." But I liked the bonding, and I super love the vibe of everybody on board the ship this season. I think this is the most cohesive, enjoyable group. I just love the characters and the actors that they've thrown in this season.
Yeah, and I'm starting to like Neron as a villain, just because you know he is smart, and it's fresh. You know, it's not Damien Dark for the third time,
Yeah.
and you know he is a step ahead of everyone, and he has a defined plan. It's a little weird because, you know, we haven't really seen a face just because he's been occupying other people, but that's also kind of what makes him dangerous as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am liking Neron very much. I was not expecting the fairy godmother to be Tabitha. Twist! I have never been happier for any person I don't know in my real life than I am for that actress getting to kiss Brandon Routh. Good on ya, fairy godmother actress. High five a million angels.
And that really is so much in keeping step with the show. Like that is exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like if it's gonna be someone we've seen before, it has to be the fairy godmother because that is the most off the wall, absurdist thing, and it fits perfectly.
I mean, the only thing that would have been weirder is the unicorn. If somehow the unicorn was named Tabitha, that would have been the only step weirder. Also, can I just say, like, we're kind of jumping ahead to the Constantine story here, but Nate had the most amazing reaction shot when John sent himself to hell. If you still have it on your hard drive, if you haven't streamed it yet or whatever, go back and look. That actor gave the best take as Constantine sent himself to hell. Like I said, I love the whole cast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, evil ancient Constantine. What do we think?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because like John's been saying, Constantine was saying the thing about him, about his family that I've been saying about him for years, which is just that he's a bastard. And now we find out he comes from a long line of bastards.
He comes by it honestly.
I mean, it's a little, it's weird because it's like, it's on the nose. Oh, you cast the actor as his own grandpa, or in this case, like great grandfather to the 12th power, or whatever it is. But I think it worked fine here. And it's almost weird, just like how much he's grown, how much, Constantine's have grown, but are still kind of the same. Now I'm wondering, like what was his parents and his grandparents like. I never thought that I was always just kind of thought that maybe Constantine just stumbled onto magic. It never occurred to me that it might be something that's been rolling in his family for generations.
Do you kind of want to see an episode where where Matt Ryan nutty professors his whole family and just plays all of them? Mom, dad, grandma, just plays all of them.
Yeah, that might be a bridge.
Actually, we met his mom.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, we did meet his parents. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
His dad too, right? Yeah. Okay, but he can play his grandpa. I'm just saying we can roll with this. We can totally do that.
That may be a bridge too far. I think anytime it's time to call in Rick Baker, you've got to hold the phone a second and make sure this is exactly what we want to do here. But yeah, I thought, that storyline I thought was interesting. And it really kind of pushes towards John's internal struggle.
Yeah, I thought it was well done, and it clarified some of the things that he's been dealing with, and it also made him slightly more reasonable, I guess. Like, oh, compared to this guy, yeah, okay, I'd rather deal with him. So
yeah, and when he lands in hell, which I'm guessing that's where he went, is it weird that it felt like an 80s grunge, punk rock music video?
Yes.
That's strange to you that everyone had spiked hair and shoulder pads.
It's like they wandered off the set of Meatloaf's latest.
So I'm wondering, is he in hell, or is he in his own personal version of hell, where everyone has to wear those clothes?
Interesting.
All right. Cool.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about Gary's eye nipple. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. But I thought Gary made a good bad guy here.
Oh, he was great. I loved it. He was confident. He was commanding. I was so happy for the actor that he got to be like that. And I remembered, there was a time when he and Mona had that little thing. Not anymore, but yeah, it was good. And I just love how pure Nate and Ray's bromance is. That's a nice thing that they've cooked over the last couple seasons. So that also continues to delight me.
All right. And okay, so what's anything more you want to talk about with the episode?
No, two little bits of news though.
Okay, go ahead.
One is the showrunner was asked if we will know who's going to be on the crew next year, because they often shake it up, and he said the finale will tell us. So whatever goes down in the finale, it's going to be pretty clear who's going to be on the Wave Rider next season.
Ooh.
So give us back Ray, Neron.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's fast. All of them are coming up fast. The second little bit, I thought this was just adorable. Legends was a Jeopardy answer. Jeopardy question. But the answer was Katie Lott's trained in this style of fighting to be Captain Lance, who runs the ship for a series of time travelers in this DC show. Nobody got it, Ed. Nobody knew Legends of Tomorrow.
No. Damn.
That's disappointing. Then again, I mean, it's Jeopardy people. So, I mean, are you and I Jeopardy people? I'm not. I couldn't be on. I watch Jeopardy sometimes when I find it, but I couldn't be on Jeopardy.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe you could. I shouldn't speak for you.
I don't.
But...
No. I don't have the hand-eye coordination because it's the real secret to winning.
They say that's the thing. You have to be able to ring in really quickly. That's what wins you the game. Everybody knows the answers. You just have to beat everybody else.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that's
James Holtzhauer, man, that guy's ripping through. He's already had $1.5 million. And
well, and my total nightmare would be I get there and it would just be like mountains of Europe, rivers of Asia, just geography. Anytime you're at any kind of trivia night and there's geography, just stick a fork in it. It would be mountains of Asia and sports. And I would just walk away.
And of course, the dreaded opera category.
Unless they ask about a very narrow subset of opera, I'm hosed. So
there was one episode when I was a kid where that was actually the title of the category. It was the dreaded opera category.
I mean, Jeopardy is kind of self-aware. I will say that. I knew somebody once. I bring a lot of journalism educators and journalists to campus through my day job. And one of them that I brought in said his favorite icebreaker question is to ask somebody, what is your dream Final Jeopardy category? And I think that's so great. That's such a great way to get to know people. Mine is the X-Files, for the record.
There we go.
I can give you time to think about it. We'll circle back at the end of the hour.
It would probably be Star Trek. But
I should have known.
Yeah, we're talking.
Somewhere Bauerfett is out there yelling "Hawk people." Mine would be "Hawk people." You know it.
Speak of legends.
That's it. I'm done with legends. You want to move on?
All right. Next up is Arrow, season 7, penultimate episode. Living Proof. In the future, William went against Felicity's wishes and tried to infiltrate Galaxy 1. In the present, while pinned under concrete, Oliver argued with a hallucination of Tommy Merlin about killing Amico. The team was roughed up after the explosion, trying to reach Oliver. After the SCPD seized smoke tech, Felicity retreated to the bunker with Elena and opened up about her parenting fears. Last-minute reveal, after being framed by Amico, Team Arrow found themselves cornered by SCPD choppers on the precinct rooftop.
So if it were up to me, I would have not talked about this episode at all. Do you know why? Because they had a dream sequence inside of a dream sequence. Do not give me a dream sequence in a hallucination. That is a step too far, sir.
Yeah, that was too much. That was...
Although I will say, we haven't seen John in the flash forwards, have we?
No, we have not. And that's...
So it did make me a little nervous until they were all dead. And I was like, oh, I was tricked.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. That to me was... That was too much. Like, we pretty much knew that Tommy was a hallucination. Like, we figured that out. But to put Oliver through all of that, that and just to make it like they'd reached him, that just felt like cheating to me. I feel like there was a different way that you could have gotten him to that conclusion.
Yeah. So it pops the balloon of suspense for me in a way that just undercuts all the stakes, I guess.
Yeah, and also, I don't know. Yeah, everything about the logistics of that. The fact that Oliver, it made it seem like Oliver got out from under there, and then it turned out he didn't. I mean, I know you want your actors to move around. You don't want a static shot, but it's just the whole setup there. And it feels like we've been falling back on these gimmicks. I mean, last week you had the whole thing where they kept doing the interrogations and they did the Rashomon thing. It feels like more.
It was back to back-to-back tricky narrative stuff that might have been more effective if they'd been separated by a couple
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, it was just more spinning tires. That's really like, um, and I don't know if we've really built up Amiko as enough of a bad guy yet. Like, I still don't believe. I don't know. I mean, she seems really ruthless, and it seems like they're gonna make it up as she's the bad guy. But I mean, next week's the finale, so there's really not much more you could go from there.
unless Adrian Paul pops back up, which I'm still pulling for the record. If Adrian Paul and Konstantin Kovar want to come back and just be zombie bad guys, I'm all about it. In the meantime, we have Amiko who did let Robert Queen die, so I think that's how we know she's bad, and that's about it.
Yeah. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. You had all the trouble. It was all of the trouble that the Team Arrow was going through trying to get there, and the person that I care about most is the guest star, Roy.
True.
Not a great sign. This was rough. This was rough. The flash forwards. Another thing that could have just been a 3-minute scene, which really boiled down to William being upset with Felicity.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm Team William in that. I love Felicity like I love pancakes, but the walking away and never seeing him again for his own safety, I don't know. That is hard to defend.
Yeah, and at this point when he's talking, why would you leave William alone right now?
Yeah.
It seemed like he pretty much telegraphed to her what he was going to do, and she didn't do anything to stop him. That she acted all surprised when he did it and foiled her other plan. What was good about this episode?
Well, I was gonna say Elena's hair, her flash forward hair, that white pixie, smoking. That was my good about this episode. Second place, Tommy's beard. That's what I got. I felt a little something at Oliver's broken bow. That's it. I'm out. You go.
I liked the conversation that Felicity had with Elena in the bunker.
Yeah, that's true. That was good.
Talking about being a parent and fears and everything like that. That seemed relatable. And it's even more sad that we know now that she's going to fail.
Yeah. She does her best. I mean, we don't know what happened with Oliver. That could,
Mm-hmm. So just talking going forward. I mean, Amiko did a brilliant job framing Oliver. And putting them in a real sticky wicket. And now it looks like not only did they kill, did Roy kill those 2 guards and they know about it, but it looks like that Green Arrow and his team attacked the precinct, and killed a bunch of cops, and now they're about to be arrested for it. Is this salvageable at all, even if Oliver proves his innocence?
I don't know. I mean, yes. This is not a show known for the justice system is not. You will never go out of business underestimating Star City police and legal. So, it could, who knows?
Yeah. It's the season finale next week.
That is coming up fast.
I am really sorry to the Arrow fans. I know we do have a lot of them. And I'm sure a lot of them are frustrated right now. And some of them are probably angry with us that we are being so down. But just this episode didn't really speak to me. It doesn't sound like it spoke to you, Sarah.
Well, I mean, I think we've both been struggling a little bit with the flash forwards in general. And anytime you rely on those quite a bit, and then the dream sequence thing. Yeah, it is an underwhelming way to go into the finale with a kind of underwhelming villain that they're going to be facing down. So and we're saying goodbye to Felicity next week, and I'm not ready. So yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hope that ends on a positive note.
If just for our listeners, I mean.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and I did like they did have the theme sort of playing at the end. Sort of a riff on the theme was playing on the soundtrack. That was nice. Just to give it credit where credit's due. That's
okay. And was there any news for Arrow?
Yeah. So according to photos that have been released of the finale, it looks like Laurel is coming back along with, we're going to see Bronze Tiger, and Curtis is going to be back. So we're going to have some familiar faces. A little bit of, well, I mean, it's news, but reports are saying that they're going to cast as a regular recurring character, grown-up John Diggle Jr. So that would mean more flash forwards.
Okay, there's 10 of them.
Yeah. And I don't know, do any of those count the crossover? I mean, they're not going to flash forward on the crossover, are they?
No, probably not.
I wouldn't think so. And then Stephen Amell did an interview with Newsarama, and he talked about how excited he is to spend more time with his family and at his winery when the show ends. And I just got to say, we all want that for you too, Stephen Amell. Like, I love this show and I love Oliver Queen, but I want Stephen Amell to get to eat Pringles and hang with his family and work on his wine and not have to like put on leather pants ever again.
What a show off.
Unless he wants to.
What a show. Oh, I got a fancy winery. Probably, it probably just does Cabernet, maybe Merlot.
Wait, are you coming for Knocking Point? I don't recommend that.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the wine.
I've actually never had his winery's wine. I feel like I need to get my hands on some before next week for the finale. Or at least before next season for the finale. Let's work on that, Ed. Let's you and me make a pact.
Okay.
Pinky swear. Are we done? Are we moving on?
I think so. All right. All right. Next episode is The Flash. Season 5, penultimate episode. The Girl with the Red Lightning. The team struggled to play catch-up after they figured out Cicada 2 was stealing parts for a weapon that could seek and destroy every metahuman in the country. Joe and Cecile convinced Captain Singh to allow Caitlin to start administering the cure from CCPD headquarters. Sherlock and Renee's courtship took the next step when he admitted knowing about her powers. Last-minute reveal, Ralph figured out Thawne planned to use the Cicada dagger to escape execution, but Ralph failed to stop Barry from firing the metagun.
I feel like we say this a lot, but I'm going to say it. This was a busy episode.
Yes, very, very complex compound sentences there.
Yes.
But I mean, really, it came down to you had the team trying to stop Cicada, trying to find Cicada 2 and then stop her from using this weapon. You had Joe trying to get his head together while every meta in the city was storming the precinct, waiting in line for this cure. And Sherlock and Renee kind of like running off and, deciding whether or not she wants these powers.
And I liked the reveal of that. I liked that he knew. I liked how she ended up using them. That was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, and I like that she stood up and said, "No, I don't want to give this gift away." Like she,
yeah,
I thought that was a really cool moment, and I thought he had an interesting solution. to send her to his Earth. Now, whether or not that means that she's going to be responsible for all of his debt.
Well, in my household, we got really concerned that that's where they were sending things with that gun. I feel like they should have been a little more concerned about where the gun was sending things. Right?
Yes.
Like, the number one question should be, where does this... That's just science 101.
Yeah.
Where is this disappearing gun making things reappear?
Yes. And those people will be quite upset with you next season.
Indeed.
Yes, that's the thing, Sarah. It doesn't matter right now. It's going to matter sometime around October, November. That's what...
When people show up with a bill, this landed on my convertible. You owe me a new convertible.
Yeah. Danny Trejo shows up and says, "You ruined my porch."
I would love that. Don't tease.
Yeah.
Did you think Joe was unusually flustered this week?
Yes, I did. It felt a little out of character. And like the thing that evidently has crept to the surface is that all of a sudden Joe is afraid of having authority.
It's very strange. I feel like we haven't quite gotten Joe back from his absence earlier this season. Does that feel that way to you too?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it was interesting. I mean, when you think of it on the surface, well, okay, he's not a captain. He's never been like the one in charge, but he's taken charge of plenty of investigations. And he's always been the guiding hand. I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, it played out well, but it did seem a little bit out of character. I did think it was interesting that someone else had to give him the hallway talk for a change.
Yes. Yeah. And I also liked that he had his Harrison Ford get off my plane moment.
Yes. That was cool when he stood up and told everyone, "Shut up. All right. Calm down." Yeah, and I it's weird because like you have this thing where Caitlin's like, "Okay, we could start giving out the cure," and I'm just thinking back to like Batman Begins, when like Lucius Fox, gives Batman that scarecrow cure, and he asks like, "How long would it take to mass produce that?" And he says, "Weeks." And then all of a sudden, Caitlin, "Okay, we have this Metacure. Yeah, we could just start giving it out, and we'll be able to generate more as they go along." Like, oh man, that's risky. That's risky. But who knows? All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Barry and Iris once again putting the leash on Nora. And Nora says, "Okay, I could fix this. I could tell you where the bad guy is." And them saying, no, we don't trust it. We don't want to put you in danger. Who's right here? Because it feels like everybody's wrong.
Stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody. I mean, I just feel like you just quoted. All right. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like we're having the same fight between those three that we have all season. So it's just kind of fallen into a mush in my brain. I think probably the parents are being a little overprotective and Nora's being a little reckless. And that's been the dynamic all along. But in this case, she did what she needed to do, I guess. But at what cost? I don't know. I may have been a listen to your parents thing in that case.
Yeah. Well, it's very Harry Potter and Voldemort. Just in the sense that like okay, I could see Cicada 2 and Nora doesn't realize that it's a two-way street. And I thought when, like, Cicada pulled Nora in and had that talk with her of like, get out of my head, I thought that was cool. That was a good moment.
I thought about new Cicada. Girls, what did they call her? Shicada? If I had a glowing wound on my forehead, I think I might be evil too. Like, that's a lot to... I feel her, is what I'm saying. Poor Shicada.
Yeah. Also, like, Cisco was having to do all this legwork to, work with satellites and sensors and bounce radio signals. Are you surprised he didn't turn to Barry and Iris and just be like, could we just let her try?
Yeah, you would think. How about this, guys?
Yeah, and what'd you think of Ralph's detective skills? I
loved it. I loved Ralph being like, wait a second. Now, if I understand time travel, which I don't, but if I do, I really liked that. It's funny. He was all over last season, and we haven't had as much Ralph this season, I don't think, and I'm a little sad about that. So I enjoyed this Ralph ride very much.
Yes, and the thing I like about him, and I love this in detective stories, is that he's always thinking. That, even when he's doing something, working on something that has nothing to do with the task, he's still thinking about the problem. And unfortunately he came to the conclusion just a little too late to stop Barry. Although we don't know. We don't know what that metagun did. We don't know how it affected Thawne in the future. What does it mean? What does it mean?
I don't know. I was surprised to see that he had the dagger. That was, I did have like his plans have plans. So.
All right. Did you? Is there anything more you want to talk about?
No, I'm good. No news either.
Okay, cool. All right. So 2 episodes left. First up, iZombie, season 5, episode 2, Deadlift. Liv ate fitness guru brain and discovered that the convenience store zombie attack was faked. Baron was killed by humans at the border trying to smuggle in the foster kids. Major faced resistance from his troops after Jordan was killed. Peyton illegally sold naming rights to the Space Needle to fund a PR comedy show, iZombie. Last minute reveal, Dolly ordered the murder of humans who faked of the human who faked the attack to keep her from talking.
This was a complicated episode. It had layers.
Yes, it did. It had layers.
Can we start with how this was the worst brain?
Not up for the gym rat brain? No?
Not so much. Let me have my ranch dressing in peace. By the way, when I was on the Heaving Bosoms podcast, I mentioned ranch dressing, and this was roundly dismissed as a Midwestern thing. Ed, talk to me. Do your people have ranch where you are?
Yes. Yeah, ranch is, yeah, we use ranch dressing.
I don't trust your answer. You really stammered around that.
I mean, there are other dressings, but,
we have other dressings.
Yes. I mean, I'd say it's probably in my top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I get,
because keep in mind, I am coming your direction in July, and I could cancel that trip.
Yeah,
if there's no ranch.
I actually prefer ranch to blue cheese on buffalo wings.
Oh well, okay, that's weird.
Oh, that's a thing now. Now it's like, okay, you're getting buffalo wings. Okay, do you want blue cheese or ranch?
Oh yeah, no, that's we have that too. It's just blue cheese is better.
Oh, okay. I guess we differ on that opinion. I mean, it was weird. You came at me so hard, and my first instinct was to say I'm more of a Thousand Island kind of guy.
I was just curious.
Mm-hmm.
It was pointed out that's very Midwestern of me. So the ranch dressing comment coming from Seattle people amused me. That's all.
Yeah. Do you guys have it by the pint? like like Liv suggested.
I mean, what's the Costco size? That's what we have it by.
Okay. We finally got to meet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes, he's so tall.
Yes.
He's so tall.
Yeah, and I feel it's kind of a shame that he's only in one scene. And I guess it's gonna be like that. He's a background character. It's funny. He's one of the only. First off, Seattle City Council only has 7 people.
That did anybody fact check that? I mean, like, did you Google that? I did.
I did not either. I don't know about Illinois. But you know, the New York City Council has 52 members.
Well, yeah, it's New York City.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I'm sorry, 51 members. Mm-hmm.
Is it so you can have a tiebreaker?
Yes.
51 is a weird number.
That's just the way it shook out. But
I actually don't know how many council members we have in the big one. Peoria is our biggest area. 1, 2. I'm googling. Nobody cares. 10. Apparently, we have 10. We have 10.
Okay.
We should not have 3 more than Seattle, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. I guess they do it differently there. But only two of the city councilmen stuck around. And Peyton is the go-between. I think at this point you just need to rewrite your city ordinances.
Yeah. Some special elections seem like they're in order.
Trouble is that they can't agree on anything.
I liked her trying to make peace between the two of them, and the only thing they agreed on was that her idea was a terrible idea. Well, not that it was a bad idea, just that they couldn't fund it.
Yeah. That's what it always comes down to. All right, so talking about the big spoiler, the big moment last week was like, they found that one guy Bix, found his girlfriend's stuff in the woods, and his girlfriend wasn't around, and then immediately they just do that. It was like, no, she was drunk off on a camping bender with her coworker.
Yeah, that was weird. That I'm having a hard time tracking some of. I shouldn't say that. Some of the things that they're highlighting are a little strange in the storylines. I thought it was weird that they had so much with that guy when it was wrapped up so quickly. And then they shifted to the search with the cell phones for people who were nearby. I don't know. I could use a little more straightforward linearity, I guess, with the police stuff because there's so much else going on. I don't need quite that much. I sound dumb. I realize that. But I just needed it to be a little more straightforward so I could focus on the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But I mean, I do like I enjoyed the problem of this was staged. They're not going to believe us. So we have to stage the response. That obviously, former journalist, I'm horrified by that. You should never do that. But you get it. You get the desperation and the concern that would lead them to do that. I thought they set up that chain of events that led to that decision really well, even if you can't fight fake news with fake news. That's just not okay.
Yeah. And it's weird because like it puts them in a spot where like you're gonna really call us on it. I think it's interesting because like we know what you did, and we're gonna punish somebody for it. But yeah. Dolly is despicable. She really is the worst. That's kind of what came out of it for me.
Okay, I learned something shocking. That actress, according to IMDb, is 2 years older than I am. Ed, you look at my face every week. She is like 10 years older than I am, right? Like, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw that and then had a crisis of my own confidence. Like, if that's... Do I have 2 years to cling to? And then, because I thought she was well into her 50s. So Yikes.
I mean,
anyway, I'm sorry. You can cut that out if you want. That was just a me personal shallow thing.
That's fine. I mean, it could be just that she was, they're making her up to look older. That's possible too.
That could be. And also you have some fudging that goes on in Hollywood sometimes.
Yeah.
So that happens too. So.
Yeah. We had some huge bombshells that happened in this episode. We had 2 major deaths for characters that were built up last season. First off, Jordan. That whole storyline with Major where he kind of like helped her off the streets and get set up, and she was man, and then for her to go like that, I was really shocked. And
that was I samesies. That was really surprising.
Yeah. And that scene in the locker room, where Major's pretty much crying, and then he overhears his men talking, and he basically has to stand up and put on that face and put them in their place. It was, oh man.
Well, and again, they've done a nice job of setting up. I understand why Major's decisions aren't going to be popular, but I understand why he's making them. So you again have that sort of black and white. It's kind of like what we've talked about with Supergirl in the past, that you have people who they're wrong, but they're not 100% wrong, or how they got to that is understandable, even if they're wrong in the end. And I think this is a nice conflict that they're doing here as well, that peace, love, community policing isn't always going to be the most effective, but if you don't do it, you are going to have civil war. So you got to do the best you can. I don't know. I'm enjoying it.
Yes. Yeah. I totally agree. And I think it's a really interesting, they're really moving this forward. You could tell, like, okay, it's the last season. We're going for broke. And the other character who was killed, we hadn't spent as much time with, but still was surprising, which was Baron. Who like, letting those 2 kids tag along, it got him killed. And
the Citizen Border Patrol got him killed, but I see what you're saying.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, like, I feel like Oliver should feel a lot more guilty. But
what does he do instead? Unauthorized zombie transfers. I mean, with the scratching. So.
Yeah. And
I will say, Francis Capra, and I doubt this was the case, but I am sure Francis Capra, that actor, is going to be on the Veronica Mars reboot on Hulu that's premiering in June. So I doubt that. I'm sure the work on those 2 things could have overlapped, but he is going to go over to the other Rob Thomas property, I have no doubt, to be Weevil over there. But still, I was sad to see him go, because I always enjoy him. And I thought how they filmed it was really effective, that you see his feet and then you see him fall. I thought that was powerfully done.
Yeah. Oliver's bad news.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah. And Liv really needed to sit him down. Consequences. There should be consequences.
There probably will be. This is a show that typically, I guess Blaine seems to be doing okay for himself.
Yeah, well, give it time. Okay.
Let's see. I liked very much Peyton selling the naming rights, even though she can't, but she did it because they weren't going to last long enough if she didn't, for it to be a problem.
Yeah.
I explained that badly. You know what I'm saying.
Yes. And her and Ravi's relationship this is a weird episode.
Go on.
I'm not saying anything. You're the romance person. You figure this out.
I like it. I like the 2 of them.
Okay.
They're cute. Ravi had that trout butter.
Okay.
By the way, I had to put the captions on to understand iZombie. My first thought was HIGH. I should have known it was HI just because iZombie. I like that self-referential bit of humor, but I did have to double check the spelling.
Yes. I think Ravi should have watched those sketches before he made that pitch, but
Let's assume he did. Oh, I did fact check with the D&D player, the former D&D player in my life, whether that was a reasonable approximation of a game. And he said, typically you do start off in a tavern, but he would be anxious to move out. So in this case, he would be the Clive who comes in and just beheads everybody and is like, please let us go. If you're looking for authenticity in your D&D.
Well, when you're being forced to grate cheese, I think, or whatever he was doing, I think enough's enough. Oh yeah, and I do like how they're just sneaking in him reading those parenting books.
Yeah,
it's nice subtle way to keep reminding. Oh yeah, he's a kid on the way. All right. Big.
Let's see. Oh, most importantly, is Major C-3PO? Does that feel right? Is he a protocol droid?
I don't know. I like C-3PO a lot, much more than I feel like the average person does. I feel like he's kind of maligned because people think he's annoying. But
this is the least surprising bit of trivia about Ed O'Hare that I've ever gotten.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he's got a lot more going on than C-3PO. I think he has much more responsibility.
Counterpoint: C-3PO is an Ewok god. So
this is true.
I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about actual important parts of the episode?
Well, no. I think we covered all the major points. Was there just really, Dolly's the worst, and she has big plans with the Dead Enders, and
she sent that woman off to be murdered.
Yeah,
with a smile.
Yeah. That woman has no idea what Benny's gonna do to her.
No. Also, I'm not blaming the victim, but I'm not sure I'd want that guy in the tub with me. That's not an attractive. No, maybe Slim Pickens in Seattle when the wall went up. You got what you got, I guess. But I also really like this idea of zombie whiteface cultural appropriation concern. That's really funny to me. I really like that they're like, oh, you can't. You're doing whiteface. That's really not your culture. I really like that. So, yeah, good stuff.
All right. Cool. And was there any news for iZombie?
No, other than that, yet again, if Liv and Major don't work out their differences and be together by the end, it's going to break my heart. That's not news. I just need to reiterate.
Okay.
We can move on.
All right. And our final episode for this week is Doom Patrol. Season 1, Episode 13, Flex Patrol. Bureau inmate 722 turned out to be Flex Mentallo, whose memory was restored when he was reunited with his wife Dolores. Larry collapsed and tried to set the spirit free, but was ravaged by all of the radiation he'd suffered over the years. Disguised as an old man who looked a lot like Ed Asner, Rita was tricked into revealing her painful baby story, and then convinced Rick to reinstall the grid. Last minute reveal, Rita told the team they can track the chief thanks to Beard Hunter's tracker, and Mr. Nobody was excited that we're finally getting the superhero show everyone wanted in the first place.
This show is so weird.
Yeah, yes it is.
Oh.
It is very weird.
Can we just start with Flex Mentallo legit walking around town in leopard hot pants?
You mean Flex Mentallo, muscle man of mystery?
Oh man, good stuff.
the man of muscle mystery. I believe that was that is straight up exactly the comics. That is exactly what it is. I like right down to the point where like it even gets metatextual where he's aware of the reader. Like it's
And this is not 60s character. This is a Grant Morrison like 90s character.
yes. But yeah, I don't even, there might have been like, it's one of those things where like it feels so 60s that like you want to say it was one, but like it might have just been a Grant Morrison invention. It is, it is out there. That's the thing with Flex Mentallo. He's the man of muscle mystery, but just right down to like the personality. And you know, I can't believe that they just went that forward with it. That I'm a guy who could just create open any door, so maybe even do another dimension with my muscles.
You know, the person I think probably actually can do that in our world is Terry Crews. I feel like that would be a Terry Crews skill. He's the only one I can think of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But he is Vic's neighbor in the holding cell. That's that guy, the bearded guy. Surprise.
Yes. And what did you think of his all right, so first off, Sarah, just tell me about that opening scene of him in 64 wandering around the town with Dolores.
I think the butt flex that makes a tulip appear was what tipped it over into art. Honestly, I was waiting for one or the other of them to end things or break up or something, but they were just purely in love, and then that not flirking took him away. That was rough.
Yep. And we found out that he knew Larry in 64 at that time, but more importantly, he could communicate with the Negative Man.
That was interesting. Yeah. He understood him. And I also thought it was interesting that Larry, and I get it, Larry was broken by then, right? So Larry did not want to try to escape, wanted nothing to do with it. It is interesting to think what could have happened if Larry had said, yeah, let's work together. Like, how would their lives have been different?
Yes. And also, like, I wonder now, like, is Flex going to be able to act as an interpreter and actually tell Larry exactly what the Negative Man thinks about him?
I hope so. I hope he sticks around, and I hope that they can do that. I love that little bit of, you know, the spirit, we're jumping ahead, but the spirit jumping around or turning around and jumping back into Larry was an interesting character moment for the spirit, I guess.
Yeah, it shows loyalty, you know.
Yeah.
He's gonna stay with the host that brought him.
And he also showed it, you know, they threatened Larry's body with a gun. So you see that. But yeah, that was nice. Romance or whatever.
Yeah. Now the just back to Flex, Cliff and Jane bickering with each other as they're trying to figure out how to crack his mind wash, his brainwashing. First, I thought that like the Bureau of Normalcy created that soap opera, Secret Hearts, just specifically to brainwash him and make him forget. Did you kind of get that vibe, or?
You know, I did not, and it's because we saw Cliff on it. that which is for me the highlight of the episode, because he was. I love watching actors intentionally act badly.
Oh, and that was
bad. Like Barry, the HBO's Barry, which you watch, Ed, right?
Yes, I do.
The bad acting on that is so good, and it was this. I enjoyed Cliff very bad on the soap opera.
Oh, it was bad.
But yeah, no, that actually didn't occur to me that was. But I mean, would the Bureau do something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it was very bad, but I also do believe that there was talk of a daytime Emmy.
Understandably so.
For soap opera guest stars. Just like watching him pretend to cry, just the way he screwed up his face.
So good. Again, I've said this before, I feel like that actor is having the time of his life. Good for him. Good for Brandon Fraser. Have the time of your life with this. He's cursing, he's bad acting, he's in a comfortable jumpsuit when he's on screen as himself. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And I thought he and Jane had an interesting kind of, it's weird because like he keeps bothering her and I think she just doesn't want to think about what's going on in the underground. But I do think they kind of came to an understanding, where like I'm really sorry that I saw things you didn't want anyone to see.
Yeah. I'm glad they had that talk. And he was asking, how are things down there? He was trying, it was coming from a good place. She didn't appreciate it, but it came from a good place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And moving on to the hospital, where Rita got to meet legendary grump Ed Asner.
Who looked older than I expect. I wasn't sure that was Ed Asner for a second. Just that I think of him as 15 years ago Ed Asner, I guess. But he was lovely. Always nice to see Ed.
Do you think he brought his own wardrobe?
Yes, that's that's how he showed up that morning.
Yes. Yeah. He's just an old grouch. He's just, oh man. And he's always been that old grouch for the last 40 years. It's just weird how that works. And I mean, we learned everything that happened with Rita finding girls for that producer. And
that was upsetting.
Yep. And poor Mary Beth. I thought for a second it was going to turn out Ed Asner was the baby.
I do feel like that's a dangling. I'm wondering if we'll see that baby in the next 2 episodes.
Yes. But no, it was Mr. Nobody.
Yes, it was.
Real quick, were you really happy about the lack of Vic in this episode?
I was. And then when Mr. Nobody actually cut his face out of the poster, are we done with Vic? Is it possible?
Well, it seemed like he was sidelined. He said pretty much, I'm not going to be able to help you, but they needed him to turn on that grid. So yeah. I mean, let's face it. The other characters were the real focus of the show. Cyborg always felt like an odd person out.
And I wonder if it took this many episodes for the writers to realize that. And is this a course correction or is this a misdirect? And he's going to show up at the end to be like, surprise.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll see. How did you feel about that last scene with him all decked out in the merch and the poster and everything else?
I didn't expect it, and yet it's Doom Patrol, so sure. It was so weird. The talking to the audience I expected. Like, he's been doing that. The merch is the DC merch. I could even see within the world Doom Patrol, because I mean they kind of have called that name is in there. It's been used, so you can almost see Mr. Nobody do that. But the DC hat is so meta, so weird. What did you think?
I thought it was right on target.
I mean, it just broke my brain with the weirdness and yet the appropriate for the showness.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I am really excited. We got only 2 episodes left. I can't believe they gave the show 15 episodes.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they did. Oh, I will say, the Dolores death was really sad.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to skip over that, but and it sounds like she knew, that was baked in, and if Flex hadn't tried to find her, she would have kept going. I mean, she would have kept going and kidnapping people with her elbow, but that was hard to watch because they really did love each other.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Vaporized. Just complete. Just went up like a Roman candle. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. But
And we get the continuing exploits of Animal Vegetable Mineral Man. Yes.
he was shot in his mineral, and that's how he survived.
Good stuff.
All right.
We have some news, and we are long already. You want to zip through it? Not for this show, but for others.
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. Okay.
Batwoman music.
It is a full series order officially. It is officially going to be a show on the CW.
Yay!
Not surprising. We've been predicting it, but still excited.
Yes.
So we don't have any information about the number of episodes or when it would premiere, if it would be fall or spring, if it would take over after Arrow ends. We don't know, but it is coming to our TVs.
Well, I checked the CW's upfront presentation is next Thursday. So be on the lookout. They'll at least announce their fall lineup there. So yeah, and
so we will we'll have some idea, hopefully.
Yeah, and maybe even a nice long sneak peek. We'll see.
Oh, that would be nice. I would like that. Next, another new show, Swamp Thing. We have music. A very sexy teaser.
Yes, get to see Abigail Arcane in the water. And there's some voiceover narration, and she turns over, and we see Swamp Thing. And we actually get to see like the full cost, like a really good look at his face. And I think that makeup is pretty good. I'm pleased with it, and that scene fits the tone of the books perfectly.
They're really cuddly.
Yeah. This show's gonna get strange. You think?
Well, I read, this is not a thing for us to talk about while we're recording, because I read some things about what happens in the comic book, and I actually don't know if it was a joke or not. So I'd like, or maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should just find out for myself. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that is coming May 31st. So this month, you're going to see Swamp Thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Also on the DC Universe, Titans. We have some footage of the ladies of the show. We have some leaked set footage of Ravager. First look at how Rose Wilson's going to appear. A new look for Dove appeared on Minka Kelly's Instagram page. It kind of looks like different braids in her hair. It didn't look that big, but whatever. And then a new suit for Starfire that looks a little bit more comics accurate. So if you're interested in that, Heroic Hollywood has all of that stuff.
Yeah. Titans is a leak problem, right?
Yeah, really. Titans is the one that has all the leaked footage from set. They need to get it together, Titans. We have said this before. We do not want to keep having this conversation with you. Jumping over to Krypton. We have the first look, speaking and walking and talking, of Lobo. Ed, what did you think?
Wow. That's Lobo. Wow. I'm surprised that it's that Lobo.
Did you expect him to dial back his Lobo-ness?
Yeah. It's weird. The accent is a little weird. Also, like, I don't like the way he's pronouncing Bastich. It's Bastich. Like, you little bastard, come over here, you little Bastich. But what?
Ed's coming for the pronunciation. You know it's getting serious.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tone thing where it's like, okay, that's fun. That's a version of Lobo, but like, how this plays into Krypton, I don't know.
That's what Lobo seemed just like sexy and violent and over the top and like, and I just don't understand how that fits the very serious tone of Krypton. I think I would enjoy a show that Lobo fits on more than because Krypton and I had our differences last season. So I'll be curious if this changes the mood. I don't know, but I'm into it. I like that red-eyed weirdo.
All right.
We also have a couple more little featurettes from the show, looking at the Phantom Zone, looking at Doomsday, looking at Seg-El. So those are out there. Comingsoon.net has a lot of those. So, next show, Pennyworth.
Pennyworth.
We
music.
have a clip. It's all clips this week. We have a clip of Alfred explaining how violence came to be in his life. So he talks about, he's got the Michael Caine accent, and he talks about how he learned violence in the army, and then he went, and then we just see a montage of him just punching people. So Pennyworth remains a show that apparently is happening.
The size of a tangerine.
I want you to do a whole show as Michael Caine someday.
That's the only thing I can say is Michael Caine. Is the size of a tangerine.
That's very much what he sounds like, except this is not your bullet. It's okay. God, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm actually not bad at accents. You're just so good at them. You scare them away from me.
With a ruby the size of a tangerine.
That's all I'm going to hear during Pennyworth now. Every episode.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. It's what I'm probably going to need to get through Pennyworth, I'm guessing. So anyway. Okay, last bit of news is for, are you ready? It is for Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth music.
We told you that this weird comic book is coming to Hulu. And apparently they are casting now, and they're hoping to shoot the pilot in New Zealand at the end of the month. So, Sweet Tooth.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Did you think that one would die a quiet death and we'd never hear about it again?
It's one of those things. I mean, Hulu usually they don't announce something unless we're actually going to see it. But it's it's a book I never thought would see a live action adaptation. Let's put it that way. So I am
well, and the New Zealand thing is interesting to me because when I think New Zealand, I think beautiful, often otherworldly outdoor scenes, and I don't know if that is the vibe of the book.
Well,
but
it's a post-apocalyptic, and it takes place all in the woods. So like forest, like New Zealand sounds perfect for that. It's definitely otherworldly. I mean, it's not pastoral in the sense. Just the thing, it's a very different type of post-apocalyptic drama, and that you don't see cities ravaged much. At least, I've read the first like 3 or 4 books, and it almost all takes place in the woods. So,
well, the Shannara Chronicles was post-apocalyptic, forest elfy kind of thing that was set in New Zealand, or that was filmed in New Zealand. So that, I mean, if that is a similar vibe they're going for, that's cool. And New Zealand, I mean, always shoot in New Zealand. It's gorgeous. That's all.
Yes.
That's it. That's the show. Other than
that's the show.
Winners.
Of course, time for our winners of the week. All right. Sarah, you want to go first?
Sure. My winner of the week. Older women with younger men. It was a theme this week.
Was it?
It was Legends. You had Neron finding Tabitha, a little bit older. Doom Patrol. You had Flex finding his wife, a little bit older. iZombie. You have that one lady going off with that guy. She's a little bit older. Older women. Younger men. High five, ladies. High five.
There you go. My winner for the week is Flex Mentallo. Just the boldness, the fact that they went comic accurate, that they found a guy with that body who was willing to wear nothing but that leopard skin.
Let's be honest. If you had that body, you would wear nothing but that leopard swimsuit. I mean, right?
I suppose. It just like even down to just his dull, drawl personality. And that's kind of the thing with Flex. It's this kind of thing where like he's this incredibly powerful being, but the world is safe because he's kind of stupid.
But he means well.
Oh yeah. No, it's just he's small-minded. Like he could take over the world if he wanted to. But why put in the energy? When I could just
He's
flex
picnicking with Dolores.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. It was, it's the winners for the week, and Sarah, we did a podcast.
Yeah, this was a long one, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, 6 episodes. It's gonna happen. It's just we've gotta record 10 episodes worth of content this weekend. This is gonna be fun. I've got to start editing this now, or else I'm gonna collapse. So
I hope you have a pint of ranch dressing to get you through it.
There we go. Yes. Not Red Bull, ranch dressing. All right. That's the DCTV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Edward O'Hare TBD.
I'm at Sarah Netzley, SARANETZLEY.
Follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister shows, the Wicked Theory Podcast and Preacher vs. Preacher. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam!